Hi everyone, I hope you're having a blessed Tuesday. I'm here with my cup of tea on Tuesday night, and I wanted to jump on to talk to you guys about Lent so far and what I've learnt, the struggles I'm facing, and what Lent represents itself to be for me. So, Lent is the 40-day period leading up to Easter. And this 40-day period is representative of Christ's suffering and struggles prior to his death. It's the 40-day period following Christ's baptism, when he went into the wilderness and fasted for 40 days from food and water and faced every temptation, wrestled with every weakness, temptation and thought to prepare himself for the ultimate sacrifice. It's the 40-day period of struggle and dedication of Christ to prepare himself for the ultimate sacrifice, which was his death, wiping away all our sins, not only resurrecting himself, but resurrecting all of us and giving us a second chance. A lot of Christians use this Lent period as a chance to cleanse themselves of those temptations and sins that we face in everyday life, as a chance to resurrect with Christ in this time. So there are a lot of common ways that Orthodox Christians fast in this period, and a lot of it is your proper by the book traditional fasting methods, which is abstaining from meat and dairy, removing oil, being really strict with food. But given how much temptation is around us today, there's a lot of other ways to fast. A lot of young people may remove Instagram, they may refrain from buying dinners and coffees out, they may try to abstain from sexual relationships. There are a lot of different ways that people can fast in this time and remove temptation to get closer to God. I think of this 40-day Lent period as a way of dedicating yourself to Christ and God, dedicating yourself to his struggles, dedicating yourself to something greater to you than you. And when you really purely and truly dedicate yourself to one thing, sacrifices have to be made for everything else. So for us to truly dedicate ourselves to God in this time, we need to sacrifice. We need to forego these other goods and distractions to really focus on dedicating ourselves to Christ in this time. I, in this period, removed Instagram. I found myself just scrolling and getting distracted. And in this last period of Holy Week, I'm trying to refrain from listening to any music. Obviously, if I'm at the gym and there's music, I can't control that, but not listening to it on my commutes to work or during the day, and not watching any sort of entertainment. I allow myself to listen to podcasts about religion and to listen to hymns. So I've removed all form of entertainment, distraction, in other words. It is, I cannot describe what happens when you truly try to dedicate yourself to something greater than you and remove that distraction from your life. It is our jobs as Christians to get closer to Christ and God and to really resemble Christ as best as we can and be a light for others. To carry our cross like Christ did, to be the best version of us like Christ was, to be something greater than you. And when you remove all the noise, when you remove everything, the clarity you can find. I was praying, asking for answers of what am I meant to do with my career? Where am I meant to live? Who are my friends? Where's my home? Where do I feel safe? Answers come into you in this time. The more you dedicate yourself to Christ and God, the closer you become to him, the easier it is to get answers and clarity. The way worldly things don't stress you when you rely purely on Christ for everything. All your worries are in his hands. And you find so much clarity in this period. But the clarity only comes from facing the most temptations anything that was not a temptation before Lent becomes a temptation. My friends and I in the first week of Lent laughed because all this stuff just happened to us. Like, we went, of course it's happening in the first week of Lent. So many things, like my job has just become undoable. It's become, I don't like saying the word miserable and feeling sorry for myself, but it's just become overwhelmingly too much. And the struggles I'm facing at work, I think, is a way of Christ telling me maybe there's something different for you that helps answer all these questions you have. Things I've had, my stomach hasn't played up, like my gut hasn't played up in so long. Now all of a sudden it's playing up. Or just all these little things that just get in your, like, day to day that tempt you. Like, I can't articulate it, but if you are in Lent, you know. And I've learned so much about myself during this time. In that first sort of like 3 weeks of Lent, I really was down. I really just could not do it. I felt so sorry for myself. I'm giving up this sacrifice for what? Like, I'm not getting closer to Christ or God. And I really, really went through it, and I felt woe is me to the lowest. And when I tell you that my prayers were answered and I found hope and God was putting me on the right path towards him and his kingdom, I had the most holy and spiritual experience of my life a few weeks ago. I could cry thinking about it. I kept praying, asking, where's my home? Is it Melbourne? Is it Tasmania? What am I going to do for work? Who am I meant to be? Where am I meant to be? Where do I feel safe? How am I going to get through this? Or how am I going to be strong enough? Who can I rely on? Where do I belong? Like, it's a question a lot of us have these days because we don't have communities, but where do I belong? And a while ago, my spiritual father told me that when asking about work and all these things, to pray to Saint Minas. And I sort of just like bypassed me. I was like, what about Saint Fanurios? Everyone prays to Saint Fanurios. And I did one prayer, I think, to Saint Minas once. And I went to this church in Melbourne that Paul has been waiting to take me to. And in that church, I had the most overwhelmingly holy experience. I felt so spiritually connected in God's home. And I felt at pure peace, pure stillness and pure peace. You know how the icons represent little pictures and windows of heaven, and they're still and they're peaceful. I felt that, and I just started crying in church when they walk around with the communion representing the body and blood of Christ, and they're preparing it. And I was upstairs. I couldn't see over. The church was busy, and this overwhelming feeling of sadness just came to me, and I was crying, and then I felt a presence behind me. I felt it so strong, watching me, protecting me, and I was like, I don't know, but I was like, someone's here, something's here, watching me and protecting me. I feel it. And then Paul put his arm around me, and my heart filled with light. It radiated. I felt like for the first time ever, I belonged. Someone understands. I'm meant to be here in God's home with Paul. That's it. That's the answer. And it's like, I can't explain it. And I turned to my right because I was like, someone is with me. My back was against the wall. I was like, this is the most holy presence here with me. And I turned around, and it was just a picture, like just paintings on the wall, nothing. Like, what am I thinking? And I turned to the other side, and it was a painted iconostasis of Saint Minas. I get chills. I thought, He's revealed Himself to me. He's revealed He is here to protect me. He is here to help me be a warrior. He's here to make me be strong. And I don't know if I'm going to include this. I think I'm going to keep this to myself. But that day after church was just like a catastrophe. Like, I was so holy and present in that moment, and I wouldn't have had that spiritual connection or revelation if I didn't remove those temptations during that Lent period. If I had Instagram, I'd be scrolling, but the fact I didn't have Instagram, I started doing, like, looking at potential other jobs, looking into, like, things in my life, and and I actually started questioning things. Like, I actually put them into questions and started to get answers. And after that church service, I just remember I had such clarity of what I needed to do. I needed to apply to jobs. I needed to get out, and I actually made a plan. And that was the what happened. That before that video that says, like, I'm reinvigorated. My whole mood shift. I've done, in that 2 weeks, like 20 job applications. I've come up with my whole business model. I've actually opened my fitness course without being scared, ticked off all this admin, and knowing that the saints are there helping us become this version of ourselves is amazing. And this Lent period is just about fully having the patience in God's plan and will. I was reading on Sunday in the Bible the story of the golden calf, and that story to me represents impatience. Moses is up receiving the 10 commandments from God Himself, and all the other folk that are waiting for Moses get impatient and start partying and listening to their temptations, and just they don't even have the patience to sitting there distracting themselves, temptation, party, this and that they are distracted from one of the most crucial parts in all of religion's history, the 10 commandments. And to me, that represents how, by not having patience, we listen to our temptations and we cave to them. And patience is a way to get through the distractions of everyday life. Removing distractions also gives you patience. It's all related. And I would say that my patience isn't that great. And I'm so easily like this and that and struggle to sit in a moment and just really be present. And this is the first time I felt like that. And I think this Lent period has taught me a lot about patience. And one thing I'm struggling with a lot still is keeping my mindset patient and positive. It's so hard when everything around you is just bad chaos and just, I can't explain anything wrong that could go wrong, it goes wrong. And just trying to keep your head up and keep going. It is hard. It is so hard. I know that. And I just by having patience, you can get through all of that with modesty and dignity. And I do feel myself slowly transforming. And I think, I know, and I'm reassured. I know God's plan. I know God has a plan for me. And I think this whole Lent period, I realize how much I love my family, miss them, how much I'm ready to move to a new job. What happens when I actually stand up with my finances and I'm disciplined with my finances? What happens when I remove distractions from my life? The person I can become and will be. I am sad and angry and short and impatient because I'm listening to my temptations and I'm not trying to serve Anastasia in the future. Having motivation, having the willpower, is being able to listen to yourself and not action what you're feeling in the moment, but action what you know you're going to feel and want later for future you. When Christ was in his struggle for 40 days and he had interactions and visions with the devil and temptations, There were so many times he could have had food and water, and he didn't. In all of that, and that's because he knew something greater was coming for him. He had a greater purpose and calling. He could go through not serving him in the moment, so he could be the greater, better version of himself with greater sacrifice and the ultimate example. So I think some key learnings I've taken from this Lent period is that we should never ever focus on serving ourselves in the moment. And I did this a little bit today. I had a snack when I wasn't actually hungry because I just wanted to snack because I was bored. And I had that snack and it was fine. But I didn't feel good afterwards. I felt heavy at work, unfocused. Being able to make decisions for future you shows discipline. Discipline teaches patience. Patience brings you clarity because you're not stressed. Patience brings you calmness and stillness, right? And through that, you can get through anything. For me, the saints in Christ are what take my stresses away from me. I can't explain. I'm looking at my iconostasis and I just want to cry. If something's wrong, I pray and I go to them, and I know if I'm truly focused on trying to become the most not saintly or maybe Christ-like, but if I'm trying to become the best reflection of Christ that I can be and of the saints, I know if I'm truly trying to do that, what I need to listen to in the moment, and it's just unreal. So always try to be the best version of yourself so you can best reflect Christ. God has made us in his image, and he's made us in a certain way, and he knows if we fulfill our full potential and purpose, we are representing Christ and being a light for the rest of humanity. If you are truly focused on becoming the best version of you, not the you, like best version of me, I'm at my friends drinking, that best version of you isn't serving you in the future. It does not serve, it's not at all, it's not helping your future. I'm not saying to not have fun, but like, you know if something's an impulse and temptation versus actual, genuinely giving you what you need for the future. Being able to listen and make decisions for future you, which is hard with all the distraction noise around you, right? It's a cycle of everything, will help you to best carry your cross, to best get through life. And Christ and God will see you going through that struggle. They will see you actively trying to be better and help you and carry you. The saints will help you carry your cross. I can't explain it. Show Christ you want to change. Listen to yours. Listen. Remove the distraction. So remove distractions. Just remove them. So you have the ability to sit there and go, all right, am I serving current me or future me? Remove the distraction and work out where you want to be and who you want to be and what you want to become. Because a lot of us don't even have those goals these days because we're so distracted. We cannot even think about our next 5 years and the type of person we want to represent and reflect and look inwards. Remove the distraction and sit down and face your thoughts. Remove them. Who do I want to become? How do I want to become this person? What does this person represent and what actions do they take? Instead of scrolling on Instagram, shut it off right now and just ask yourself those questions and pray and have patience and pray and have patience. The answer will reveal itself, and it will reveal itself. It may reveal itself the next day, it may reveal itself in a month. It will reveal itself if you truly ask and pray. Remove distraction, find an answer of how to best carry your cross, to best represent Christ, and to become the best version of you. Think about the actions that person takes And any decision that comes to you in life, any moment, feeling, temptation, ask yourself in the moment, is this serving me now or the me I want to become and be? From there, you will learn discipline. Discipline, it gives you patience at the same time. And then that whole cycle becomes effortless. Removing the distraction, right? Remove the distraction and be patient and still in your thoughts. By being patient and still, we can make actual wise decisions about who we are, where our futures are, what we're doing, how to be happy. From there, we have the ability to be disciplined and controlled, removing temptations, understand real suffering. And from that, we gain patience and modesty. There is your cycle. When you stay in this cycle and loop, you become the most high and holy version of yourself and the best representation of Christ. Christ literally removed all temptation. He just, none. But what we do as humans, because we are human and we're flawed, we listen to that temptation and then we get distracted. And I know it sounds hard and it's not like one thing's just going to lead to another, but it does. And then you get distracted and then getting back into that cycle feels so difficult. So Lent has taught me that, if that articulates it. And I hope a lot of you are gaining something amazing in this Lent period and have learnt something about yourself. But this Lent period has taught me ultimate patience. It's given me ultimate answers and clarity, and it's given me discipline. I would love to continue to work on my mental battles, but knowing that God is there with to handle all your problems gives you that stillness and that calmness and that lack of worry. But trying to stay actually stimulated while these plans are unfolding and happy and grateful, that will make all of this better. And for me, I think I just need to continue to learn how to remain grateful in this period, because everything's a temptation and you forget to be grateful. Be grateful for the suffering. When you suffer, you're closer to Christ. You're literally walking the path Christ walked. You're anxious, Christ was anxious. You're tempted, Christ was tempted. You're literally walking the same path as him. Be grateful to him for his example. Be grateful for him to the learnings that he gives us to learn from, to everything. But we're nearly at the end of Lent, and I promise you, on Saturday night, when everything goes dark and that candle's light and everyone's there together, it's all gonna feel worth it. I promise you, it's all gonna be worth it. Facing all these struggles you face now, all these temptations that you're abstaining from, everything you're trying to better yourself for, it is worth it. And I promise you, it's worth it, and you see it. And I'm so excited. I don't know what it is. I have chills. I'm so excited. And I wish you all a blessed Pascha. I hope you remember the actual meaning of Easter and how beautiful this time is. This time is here to help you change. If there's any change to action, if there's any time to action change and to become that person you want to be, it is time to transform yourself. It's time. And I know my time it's here. Anastasia is gonna happen, and Anastasia, me, I'm gonna transform and resurrect. I just know it. So I'm so blessed and grateful to God and Christ, and I hope you all have a blessed and safe and beautiful Pascha. Christos Anesti.